Hey, how's it going, folks? So let's see. We have a very old Detroit 453 here. This is a project I have been hoping to accomplish for quite some time. It came out of a very heavy old 1950s or 60s duplex crane truck. It's got a 5-speed transmission, and I hope to eventually pick up the 2-speed auxiliary transmission that was behind it as well. This is going in my 1994 Silverado 3500. My big problem right now is that I am unable to move the engine. It is so heavy that on this gravel floor I have in the shop, I am unable to roll the engine hoist with it on. So the current project, to be able to even start the bigger project at hand, don't mind the sheep, they're temporary, is to build a dolly. All right, I don't know what's been recorded at this point and what hasn't. I've had a little bit of battery issues, some storage issue, a variety of things. So either way, we're here a couple of days later. I have built a dolly to hopefully support the engine. We'll see. So this is my dolly. I've got a couple of other pieces cut out to add in for supports here if we have to. We're going to try set the engine down on it. We just had a very kind gentleman that owns a feed store up the road come and grab a skid steer. We had, obviously, as I was saying previously, no way of getting the engine from there up there where we have a hoist that can lift it. So now that is solved. If it's any perspective, he had a probably mid-sized Bobcat with wheels, and he was balancing on the front two to get this thing the entire way up here. So based on his experience operating the machine, he said it's probably about a ton. So I was thinking 1,500 pounds before. I don't know. Either way, this thing weighs a whole lot. It's going to be a crazy project fitting this thing in to a pickup truck, but we're going to do it somehow or another. So I want to set the camera up. We're going to get the engine set on the dolly, I hope, and then we'll be able to move it around properly. That's right.
How much weight do you think your truck's gonna hold? Better hold 1,500 pounds, right?
I think it'll hold it, yeah. That's about all I know. I think if I added some support, it could really hold some weight. But I need to see where the oil pan fits at and everything before I start adding stuff inside of there. So. Is that pretty well centered?
You can hold that.
I think I got it. Yeah, that was pretty close, and I didn't even try. Yeah, it hit a spot there that it didn't really like.
What are you trying to do?
Readjust. I think it's really heavy. Now I'm gonna try and set it back down.
You need another chain or two ends.
No, it should be good. All right, so I thought that I had been pretty much done with all the cutting, welding, all that good stuff, but we're not quite there. So I've got this engine mount here that was actually broken off when I pulled the engine out of the crane. It's got 2 good bolt holes in it and 2 good bolts. So my plan, I have an issue with the engine rocking. The front engine mount, it rotates. So I have to find a way to stabilize this engine side to side, and I really don't want to have to run ratchet straps down on it long term. So I'm going to find a way to make this angle iron fit up here, and we are going to build some sort of a mount to attach to this frame here. And yeah, and then hopefully I'll be done with the cutting and welding for the day. Try and take this bolt out if there's any chance possible. All right, use some different pliers. I'll need something with some more grip. Turns out I don't have any really good pliers to me, so we're going to give these a try. If they don't work, we're going to cut this thing. Or better yet, we're going to weld this thing. Put ourselves some sort of nut on the end of this and get it out that way. This might just do it. Would you look at that? Nothing says victory quite like that, does it? Hang that one up on the wall. So it looks like this hole up here is good. We have a total of 6 holes. The original mounts, I think, used 4, sorry. And this one got broken off here, of course. Would have been up here. And then there's an extra set of holes, but either this one's filled with mud or it's got a broken off bolt in it. And this one, the same story, so I'll have to figure that out. I'll try a drill bit, see if this thing ends up at a dead end in there or if it just plugs on through this. That'll tell us if it's dirt or not, I guess. Need a battery first. Definitely not dirt. Definitely is dirt. So the good news is that it gives us, actually the threads look really ripped out in that hole. At least gives us 4 good holes to work with later. Let's see. Holy cow. Don't even know how that's possible. It gives me a really bad feeling. I don't think it's supposed to do that. Unless that's just a hollow casting right there. There is absolutely nothing there, or even on the sides of it. The threads are completely gone just past the entrance of the hole. There's absolutely no metal there. No structural metal or anything. The other ones are definitely solid all the way through. That does not make me feel too good. More on that later. Let's see what we got here. Piece is sized up pretty good. We'll cut this and start building ourselves a mount. So I have measured these holes out. Looks like we got just about 2 inches from hole to hole right here. And I think this plate is big enough to hold pressure against here. I think we're just going to take advantage of the bottom 2 bolt holes for the moment. We'll leave the top 2 for when we actually build some real engine mounts on this thing. And we're going to go about 1 1/8 inches up from the bottom of this. So we're just going to flip it over, go up 1 1/8 inches. We're going to go spread we'll draw a line down the middle, 1 inch out on each side, so that'll give us our 2-inch spacing for the holes. And I'll see you back when I have a plate with 2 holes in it, and we're going to figure out how we're going to build the rest of the mount from there. All right, let's see if this thing works out here. Yeah, I might have gotten my holes a little closer than I need to, but I wallered them out as good as I could with the drill bit, so hopefully that'll compensate. Oh yeah, I think we're all right. It's a little gritty. I think I got some dirt up in that one. I think we can almost just take a piece of this angle and run it straight down to the frame here, and probably try and find some way to bolt it on. I really don't want to have to weld that to the frame. I'd like to maybe be able to use this dolly for another project later on, or who knows what it may become. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I think I got it. So I'm going to make this part fairly permanent. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this temporary. So I'm going to take a piece of this angle and put it out this way and run it straight down. And I think that'll do pretty well. All right, I'll see you back when I got a piece cut out for that. All right, looks like that might just work. Go ahead and buzz that on there. And we'll work on fixing another piece to the bottom that we can bolt through. That's about all there is to it. Nothing to it but to do it. All right. Do a little marking here. So I'm going to have to weld this in a remote location because unfortunately the welder's not going to reach where I'm at right now. I have another piece down here that I'm going to use as my foot for this to bolt to. And since I know where to weld these at now, I will take those over to the welding machine We're gonna buzz these in place, come back over, and we should have a mount. And I'm just gonna need to drill a couple holes and find some bolts to fit in there. Unfortunately, I don't have a workbench in here, so just working with what we've got right now. Been running 145 amps with some 5/32 rod here. It's not ideal for this job. It's actually a little heavy, but unfortunately it's the closest I've got. I should also mention before I make you guys think I have no idea how to weld, these are actually some very old welding rods that have sat in some humid environments and are much less than ideal, but we're making them work. Yeah, that's kind of important. Wow, that makes a difference. It's almost like I have a circuit now. Wow, I wish these dang rods would work. I also have to run them a little too cold for their liking because Still, it's not quite as heavy as they're really made for, but we're making it work. For the one that I got to kind of freehand here. Not ideal at all. This is part of the fun. Getting ready to melt my boot. Getting an arc to hold this one's going to be fun. Hey, I think I got it. Beat that back into place as it cools off. Shoot, it didn't even pull. Maybe a little. That looks pretty good. It's a little hot. Always recommend wearing safety glasses when you're chipping this stuff off. It'll fly straight in your eye. Man, that does not look bad for some old crusty rods that don't want to hold an arc. Probably shouldn't talk while you're doing this either because it just flew right in my mouth. Looks nice to burn the tongue. A little hot right there. But again, these rods are not made for this. They're like 1/2-inch welding rods. 5/32 are pretty big. Not bad. See if you guys can check this out. Oh, that's hot. So I get another blower. Focus on that. Not bad for some old crusty stuff. It is very hot. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing hooked up in here. Oh yeah, that's gonna fit great. We're gonna go ahead and get these bolts started a little bit here, and we're gonna drill these holes while this is in place. That way it'll make it a lot easier for us. We don't have to match up holes, we'll just drill straight through. That is really hot. I think I'm just going to go ahead and tighten these down. That's easy enough. Make everything go as close to 0 as possible here. Wow. Don't touch that. Very, very, very little flex in that at all. Hardly any, if I'm really honest. I like that. It's good for the purpose we're doing here. All right. Let's what size these are. I think they're roughly 1/2 inches. Yep, that'll work. I'm gonna drill a small pilot hole here, and we'll put the 1/2 inch hole in. And we should be happy campers. All right, that was a much bigger pain than it should have been. I finally got the bolts in here. Didn't have a single sharp drill bit around this place. They were dull. And if they weren't dull, I made them dull. There goes my wrench. I tell you, this piece is hot. Not just from not welding, but now from burning them up with that drill. The drill's so hot I can barely even hold on to it. I don't know if anybody else has a Milwaukee drill in this video here and would like to comment your input. Tell me what you think of the quality of the chuck. In my opinion, it sucks. Always has, never lines up right. Doesn't like holding on to things. Be a little controversial. I think DeWalt makes a much more powerful drill. All right. Whew, all tight. Now begins the chore of moving this thing back into its hole. Well,